We love it.
I heard an interview some years ago on NPR, and this woman was talking about what happens to books after they're sold, after they're remaindered, after all the steps in terms of their oblivion. And this is what I wrote after that interview. It starts with a quote by William Dean Howells. "The mortality of all inanimate things is terrible to me, but that of books most of all." Pulp Fiction Highway. I heard just the tail end of a radio conversation about how unsold pulp novels are transformed into filler for highways. As a travel writer, the speaker appreciated the irony, but must also have felt some regret upon discovering that whole worlds end up in a slurry of asphalt and aggregate. I never realized how much thought went into the composition of highways. Charity laugh. And it doesn't surprise me that we drive over the deliberate plots of old books in an illiterate rush towards the denouement of sales racks. Oops, sorry. Let me start that over. And it doesn't surprise me that we drive over the deliberate plots of old books in an illiterate rush toward the denouement of sales racks. Who knew that the highway included the lowbrow machinations of jilted lovers and lonely detectives, or that we could navigate a lifetime of crises and redemptions without ever leaving the car? Apparently there are noir streets in some cities perpetually lost in shadows and hard-boiled dialogue. And there are towns in Texas paved with nothing but laconic westerns. Some dreamy roads wind up and down hillsides like the heaving bosoms of romance novels. And we've all been on sci-fi roads that stop in the middle of nowhere. There are unrequited roads not yet traveled and roads from youth that spread out before us like an open book. The only other thing I remember from the interview is that some novels are shredded into snow for movie scenes. But that, dear reader, is not the kind of weather you should be driving in.